What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can easily maintain an old school RuneScape bond to continuously renew your membership with ease. For those of you who don't know, a old school RuneScape bond is just a tradable item that actually activates your membership for 14 days, and it can be purchased for currently 5 mil GP in the Grand Exchange. However, this price does fluctuate quite a bit, so just keep that in mind. In this method I'm going to be showing you, you are easily going to be able to maintain well over that 5 mil GP, so you can renew your membership every 14 days or every month, however you want to do it, and you wouldn't have any issues with it. So unfortunately, this is only for members. It is a lot harder to actually get a hold of the 5 mil GP for a bond as a free-to-play player, so just keep that in mind. It's pretty beneficial just to actually purchase your first-time membership, and then you don't have to worry about it from there on out. Before we start, the method that I'm going to be showing you guys contains of doing daily runs of specific items that I'll be going over here in a little bit, but you would only need to do these 2 times a day to maintain your bond. So I like to do it early in the morning and before I go to bed. Just 2 times do this. Each run takes approximately about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you can actually be with it. It probably doesn't even take that long. Honestly, does not take long at all. And at the end of your 14-day mark, you will have well over 5 mil GP to renew your bond. The first thing I'm going to be covering is the most profitable out of everything. This is not the only thing you should be doing. However, again, this is the most profitable, and it is very easy to do. Very low requirements. At only 32 farming, you have access to the most profitable herb seed, Renars. I highly recommend doing Renars over any other seed, as this is majority of the time the most profitable seed to actually plant, and it doesn't die as often as something such as a Torstal or any of those higher end seeds that you'd see a lot of people actually doing. So I would definitely stick to the Renar seeds. Currently, the GE price for these seeds are 72k GP for each seed. On average, you can expect anywhere from about 5 to 12 herbs every time you do one of these patches, especially if you're using an Ultra Compost, which I highly recommend using Ultra Compost, as it just increases your yield tremendously. Ultra Compost at the moment costs about 900 GP each, and the Renar herbs cost around 10.7k at the moment. That is how much each herb costs. So if you're getting the lower end of the RNG from your herb patch, you could potentially lose money, and even when your herbs actually have a chance of dying as well, you would then lose out on the 72k GP. With all this in mind, you still do profit off this tremendously, as the Ultra Compost helps out a lot, and more often than not, you will actually obtain more herbs than what the seed cost you, which is why this is so profitable. So I will be showing you guys 5 herb patches. Make sure you guys are following along on screen, as I will add some text, a little bit of information about each one of these patches. The reason why I'm only showing you 5 patches is because these are the basic ones that are accessible to every account build type. However, there are more herb patches out there, so I will be showing you guys a list of the different locations. If you have access to the other patches, make sure you are doing them, as the more patches you do, the more profit you will gain. And finally, the last bit of information is to make sure, if you have access to the magic secateurs gained from the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest, make sure you are using those, as they give you a plus 10% in your yield of herbs when you are farming. Also, if you have 99 farming, make sure you are wearing the cape, as that also gives you a plus 5% boost, which does sack with the magic secateurs. The next thing you should be gathering is whiteberry bushes. These are farmed in the bush patches, which are found around Gillinor, and there are a total of 5 different patches. However, I will only be showing you 4. You can farm these whiteberries at level 59 farming, which is probably the highest requirement for this entire method that I am showing you. The good thing about these is, after planting them one time, you would never have to plant them again unless you want the farming experience. However, after harvesting them, the whiteberries do grow back after 1 hour. At the moment, white berries are sitting around 300 GP each, and you actually do harvest a fair amount per bush patch. So overall, they do add up. It might not seem like much at first, but I promise you over time, you will get a decent amount of profit from doing these. Next on the list is Cactus Spines. Now, there are only 2 different locations that you can actually do these for any account build throughout Gielinor. The 2 are in Alcarid and the Farming Guild. Now, a good thing about these is, again, you only have to plant them one time, much like the whiteberry bushes, and these are actually extremely profitable, as the Cactus Spines are sitting at around 1800 GP each. You can expect anywhere from 3 to even upwards to 30 spines. I've even gotten more than 30, however, it is very uncommon, and it also scales off your farming level, much like the whiteberry bushes, which I failed to mention previously, but they do scale off your farming level, as the higher farming level you have, the more that you will actually yield from doing these patches. But overall, you will still get a very nice profit from doing these. So the next thing that I have for you guys is the birdhouses on Fossil Island. Now, to gain access to these, you have to obviously have access to Fossil Island from completing the quest Bon Voyage. I have a guide for that, which will be in the top right corner of this video if you guys need to check that out. Otherwise, guys, I highly recommend doing these. These are very easy to do, and they are very profitable. They scale off of your hunter level. Obviously, you can start doing these at just 5 hunter, but you're really not going to see too much profit until you reach about 44 hunter, which is the maple tier birdhouses. There are 4 different locations for these, and when you are making these, they require 10 hop seeds. Now, the cheapest hop seeds that I find are the hammerstone and the barley seeds. Those are the 2 different seeds that I use, so make sure you are using those. But really, you can use any hop seed that you choose. Those are just the cheapest. But make sure you're doing your birdhouse runs, as this is a big benefactor to the overall GP towards your bond. And the final thing I have for you guys is planting giant seaweed at 23 farming. This is also located on Fossil Island, so it is highly recommended to do this before or after your birdhouse runs, as it is located right next to them. The only requirements, again, is the 23 farming, as well as the diving gear, which is obtained through the subquest Pirate Pete for Recipe for Disaster. Now, you actually don't have to complete this quest, you only need to start it, as you do obtain the gear within the first couple of minutes of starting the subquest. So to get to this location, you utilize the small rowboat located north of the island using option 3, and then using that same boat to dive down to the following patches. There are 2 different patches. You will need seaweed spores for this, which you can obtain through the Grand Exchange, or they randomly appear right next to the patches, occasionally on the floor, which you can pick up. Your magic secateurs or your farming camp will not affect these, so don't even bother trying to use them. And finally, make sure you are using your ultra compost, as these affect the giant seaweed tremendously, so make sure you are using those. You will gain a much larger yield. At the moment, giant seaweed are sitting at about 533 GP each. I usually obtain around 60 of these per inventory, which is a decent amount, and it will definitely add up over time. So here is the result of doing everything I mentioned in this video for 1 week. Now, if you remember, the bond lasts for 2 weeks, so this profit is only for 1 week, so you take this and you multiply it by 2 for a total of 17.7 million GP. However, you have to subtract the supplies that you used as well as the seeds that you purchased, which cost about 10.3 mil. So you will end up walking away with 7.4 mil at the end of your 2 weeks, which is well over the amount of a bond at only 5 mil. So you actually gain 2 mil more profit than what the bond actually cost, guys. Also, please keep in mind, guys, that your birdhouse runs is not going to reflect what I received here, as the seed you obtain is random, so you could get more money in seeds than I did, or you could get less, as well as the birdhouses. I was using redwood tier birdhouses, so you're probably going to get a little bit less birdhouses than I did, but keep in mind I did have over 2.4 million over the bond price, so even if you had less birdhouses than I did, you will still make over 5 mil GP for that bond price, no problem. And again, this is only doing this method if you did this run 2 times a day. That is doing the herbs, whiteberries, cactus, birdhouses, and the giant seaweed. So if you were to do this run more than 2 times a day, you would make even more than what I am telling you right now, guys. It is super easy to do, very low requirements, and you can use the money on your bond and still have plenty more left over at the end of the day. A little extra bonus that I decided to add for you guys is if you have completed the achievement diaries for Varrock, you can actually buy these staffs from the staff shop for only 7K each, guys. You can literally buy these, run them over to the Grand Exchange, and sell them for more than what you purchased them. As you can see with the easy diaries done, you can purchase 15 of these staffs, and you can make approximately 20K just by doing this one time. So if you were to do this every single day for 2 weeks, you would walk away with 210K profit. Now again, these are estimates, but if you're an account that has even higher diaries done, you can even make more. For the medium tier, you can make 420K off of doing these staffs in 2 weeks. For the hard, you can make 840K within those 2 weeks. And if you have the elites done, you can make 1.7 mil for just doing these staffs. It takes literally a minute to purchase these staffs from the staff shop, run over to the Grand Exchange, and sell them for more than what you got them for, guys. So that was just a little bonus that I decided to add for you guys, as it does also add up over time very nicely. So I highly recommend doing those as well. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you guys found this very helpful, make sure to send a bond my way. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, and also make sure to click on the notification bell so you guys can stay tuned for when I do upload a new video. Thanks again, guys. Peace.